Hello everyone, and welcome to Peter Does Games! And it's time for us to continue with Franchise Hockey Manager 6. We'll let the loading screens commence. Anytime now. This is the best part of the game, I'm just telling you. Alright, so now we're back into the Colorado Avalanche. First day, we've looked at the different lines in the roster. We've looked at the tactics. I haven't actually looked at the depth chart yet, so let's look here really quick. Got some goalies in here. And actually, so far this year in real life, we've used all four of these during the season. Philip Grubauer and Pavel Francouz both got injured at the same time earlier this year. Hopefully that won't happen during this franchise hockey. Excuse me. Fighting a bit of a cold, as you might be able to tell. But I don't think that will affect the quality in any way, other than perhaps improve it. So, as you can see, we got lots of depth here in the Colorado Avs organization. And then one of the things I do like about Franchise 6, which is easier to say than the entire name of this game, this new schedule that we've got, which shows everything. Now, all these preseason games coming up, we can see the blue ones are home games. The red ones are, you can tell from the @ sign, they're away games. So we're going to have Carolina and then New Jersey. I believe that while the regular season is the correct one for this year, all the preseason is just randomly generated. And then at the end of the year, when it generates the next season, it's going to be random at that point as well. Obviously, we don't know what the league will really do. So, if you don't like this, though, you can go back to this version. It works really well for people who like Excel spreadsheets, like I do. But, you know, this time around, I do like this version a little bit better. This actually kind of matches what you see if you go to NHL.com and pick your team and look at the schedules through them. So I kind of like how that shows up here. On here, it shows, you know, the regular history of the Colorado Avalanche here through the years. It doesn't go into a lot of detail, but you can see when they went to the playoffs. And down here, you can see when they actually won the championships. It also shows when they were the Quebec Nordiques before they became the Colorado Avalanche. And you can see back here the basics of it. You can see the number of games that were played, the wins and losses, things like that. Excuse me. And so, you know, just as a brief historical thing, that's pretty nice in here. We also have our player index, which I thought was kind of interesting because, like, for example, you can see on here, this guy, he's retired, right? It's not just your active roster. And it also tells you the years that they were playing from. You know, so you can actually get the historical information from various people through the years. We've got the staff index on here, which I believe. So this is our general managers. I think Sakic still is the general manager there, but this says until 2016. So I guess the game doesn't have everything correct. And he was an awesome player back in the day, although Forsberg's still my favorite. But yeah, I like Sakic. And now it resorted everything when I did that. So we can also see the coaches. We currently have Bednar in there. And what's interesting is it doesn't show Mark Crawford on here. And he was the coach that won the first cup in '96, which I find rather interesting. I wonder if these are... oh, no. It looks like it's trying to present accurate information. Oh well, I guess maybe it's probably still better than Wikipedia. leaderboard, we really haven't done anything yet, so we're not going to see much in there. But as you can see, we've got even the alumni, so everybody who is currently active who plays for us. I believe this is the currently active alumni up here. We can also see who was drafted if we wanted to change it to that. I do miss Paul Stastny. Even though he now plays for Vegas, I've always liked him as a player. Loved watching him, especially because of the Stastny family that played with the Quebec Nordiques for so long. And Paul Stastny got to wear his dad's jersey number when he was playing for the Avs. So yeah, the Stasnys actually had Peter, Paul, and Marion playing with the Nordiques and Avalanche organization. Thought that was funny. And then we got our jersey numbers here. The one that I found interesting, I did look at this earlier, and you can tell in here, you can see when it's like the yellow ones, these are the retired numbers, but you go down to 33, and when you hover over, you can't read any of that, but if you look at below where it's highlighted, there's no Patrick Waugh in there. Not sure how somebody can compile a list of this, and you know, they even include Adam Foote, but no Patrick Waugh down there right underneath the highlighted one. But given how hard it is to read the names on here, light blue on a light gray background, he thinks that maybe this particular page wasn't the best thought out. Also this one, because yeah, game records, apparently there are none. I suppose that this actually refers to our games in here then, and it's not showing the, you know, you can see here, it's not showing anything for any of those tabs. So let's go back over to the info here. This gives us our affiliations. The Colorado Eagles are our AHL team. And apparently, Utah Grizzlies, I didn't actually know about them, because who follows the ECHL? So who's hot? Nobody. Who's not? Nobody. Story of my life right there. Now, one of the other things that we can look at is the different transactions. This will become more important as we actually have transactions that we want to go through. But this tab is very important because it gives us our upcoming free agents. So all of these people have 1 year left in their contract. They will be free agents at the end. And really, as I'm kind of glancing on here, you can see from the potential that one person we really would like to keep is going to be Tyson Jost. So I'll probably target him. And this is one of those things where in the realm of the game, you have to let go of the people that you like and actually go by what they are saying here. So for example, I really like Matt Nieto, and I love to keep him around, but he's only 2 stars. So this might be somebody who we'd want to get replaced with somebody else. Even as an Avs fan, wanting to keep everybody, you know, that's just the way it goes. We'll kind of look at this a little more in depth later on as we dig through everything else in this game. Again, we have some of the unsigned draftees, and so we'll want to keep an eye on here to make sure we don't miss anything important through the year. As we go through it, it gives us the signing deadline and things like that, so we can possibly go through there. Let's see up here. So again, clicking on a name, you can see the different things in here. Again, not going to go through this one yet. And this tells us our transaction log. So you can see, I was talking about Kevin Connaughton and Jacob McDonald in the previous one, and then Ian Cole and Eric Johnson. This is why Ian Cole and Eric Johnson aren't showing there. They are on the injured reserve list, which is why these guys got promoted from the Eagles. And while that was interesting timing, that was actually my cat, not an eagle somewhere nearby here. Alright, then coming up here we have the free agent center, so we can actually look through here. It's spelled Centre, as if we are in Canada using French influenced English, which some might say is the actual real English, but yeah, we're American, so yeah. Yeah, that's just wrong. But here we can see the different people who are still left out there. If we wanted to target somebody, I actually am pretty confident with the team that we've got this year. There's not much that we have to do to improve it. The Avs are a very strong team, and even within this game it is. Finally, we can go to the transfer summary, and as you can see here, you can see the various teams throughout. And this will be populated as people get transferred throughout the year. You can also go over here and target an individual team if you wanted to see their numbers. So with that, let's go over to the trade really quick. Here's where we could make a trade offer. We can pick the different teams from here, and we can add people in as well as requesting different people. Again, I don't need to do that at this point. I like the team that we currently have, so we'll have to kind of give it a few games within this simulation in order to see if there's any weaknesses within the game, and then we can target it. Even though in real life, I would say, you know, the Avs are definitely in the top 4 or 5 teams in the league as they are right now, even with as many injuries as they've had. So we really don't need to make any of those types of transfers at this point. But within the game, doesn't match reality. Therefore, it's possible that we might need to do some trades as we see how things go. Speaking of that, we do need to pay attention to the money that is available. So currently, as it shows here, we've got $3.5 million for free agents, and then we can extend for $31 million. This is the money that is available. You can see our player payroll is actually 29th, and that's one of the advantages the Avalanche have this year, is plenty of cap space for their team, so they actually have a lot of ability to do things that, you know, if they need to. But like I said, they really don't need to right now. So there's a current rumor going around with Taylor Hall from New Jersey being shopped around because New Jersey is having such a bad year this year, and Taylor Hall is one of the few bright spots in Jersey. So they're thinking of trying to get something for him to get him off of the dumpster fire that is the Devils. Interestingly, there is a connection from the Devils, for people who don't know, back to Colorado. Colorado had a franchise back in the day called the Colorado Rockies. It's now their baseball team, but at the time, back in the 70s, it was their hockey team that became the New Jersey Devils. So people who don't know that now you know that the Devils and Colorado have a history connection, right? But that said, the rumor going around that maybe Colorado could acquire Taylor Hall, it's true that they could if they wanted to, but Colorado doesn't need a winger, even one that's as good as Hall is. Colorado doesn't need a new winger, and what would they be giving up in exchange for a winger when they really don't need one to continue on? It's a nice place for Colorado to be in. Is it possible that Joe Sakic might decide to do that kind of trade? Well, anything's possible, but given how he has been wheeling and dealing to get Colorado in this strong position financially, I don't anticipate that we would want to have Colorado give up any of the prospects that we have in exchange for Hall when he doesn't provide a shoring up of a weakness. He would just be more on what is already a pretty stellar line. That said, I don't get paid to do this in real life, obviously. I don't even get paid to do this in fake life, so we'll see what will end up happening in the real world as things go on. So looking at the time here, getting close to 15 minutes, so one of these days I will actually hit this continue button. Trust me, it will happen. There's a lot of information to go over, however, so we'll just keep plugging along. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and hopefully by the next time that I record this, my head cold will be gone. Peace out.